And welcome to the Common Room Collab podcast, talking about everything Boston sports, European soccer, and just whatever the fuck else we want to talk about. I'm your host, Dan Anderson, alongside
Matt Orsi. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening indeed. The two Goliaths of Bryant University Radio, WJMF, making their glorious return to the airwaves, the internet waves. What are we calling this?
The pod waves,
Pod waves.
The sound waves in general. I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah, works for me. Matt and I, both fresh, washed-up alumni from Bryant University as of 31 days ago.
Stop it. I didn't need that in numbers.
I don't, yeah. Oh, God, I hadn't heard that in days yet. My God. That's, yeah, unbelievable. But Matt and I will explain the Common Room collab, first right off the bat.
Sure.
The Common Room basically, actually, Matt, I'll let you take it away on this one.
Well, so Dan and I were looking for some kind of outlet when we started this show at our lovely alma mater. And it was really because we had a lot of conversations during the week and didn't have a means to, kind of display them with the world. So we took our common room discussions at Bryant. All the halls are in suite style, so there's just one common area. Dan and I would just sit there and talk about whatever's going on during the day. So we decided to pent up the angriest of those sound bites and discuss them on a weekly basis. So that's how we get the Common Room Collaborative.
Exactly. Even though it works nicely, because before we were FCC regulated. I mean, granted, it was also like internet radio that you'd have to log on for, but we couldn't swear, and now we can say whatever the fuck we want. Like, I don't give a shit.
We can do anything.
It's great. Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. I can't. Well, actually, no, it's a lie. At my job, I can swear. A lot of people around the office swear a ton, and I absolutely. They asked me that today. They're just like, as you can see, we swear a lot. I'm like, oh, I love it. This is fantastic.
I was gonna say this. This is nice.
Yeah. Oh my God. But so anyway, I mean, that's the story behind the show. One of those things, once a week with WJMF, and now once a week on iTunes, streaming on YouTube, wherever the hell we feel like putting it up.
Yeah. Whatever means we can get to, we'll put it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Appealing to the people's needs.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt, I know I said this to you early, but it's one of those things too where we're hopefully going to look back at this in 2 years and go like, oh my God, that sucked.
Oh,
we're going to catch into the groove. We're still getting used to the fact that this is over Google Hangout too. This isn't even like in person.
No, we're so used to the studio.
I know. It's so, I mean, it was, I wouldn't say easier that way, but like, I'm sure the first couple of minutes we're going to interrupt each other constantly.
Yeah, it's not too bad. At least I can see you.
Yeah, exactly. That's key. I don't know, can you imagine this like a phone call?
Oh, no, thank you. All right, let's hop into the content. We got a lot to talk about. You and I haven't been on the air since, mid-May?
Yeah, I think early May. We had opportunities to go back on the air, but it was senior week. We were drunk. We're like, yeah, let's not do this.
Yeah. Well, a lot's happened in 6 weeks. Let's let the good people hear about the fine world of sports. So we're going to kick it off with a little Red Sox recap, see how that team's been moving along. We'll move on to Celtics trades. We'll talk about that Lakers deal, move into the NBA draft. And then with our favorite recurring segment, we'll hit some stoppage time and talk about some soccer rumors to end our show.
Exactly. The lovely world of football over there in Europe. Only the finest.
Indeed.
So
we will kick it off with the now first place Boston Red Sox. I don't know if that still holds true after this afternoon's loss, but it was true as of last night. So that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, the Red Sox, like, it was funny. It was after the Yankees were super, super cocky and tweeted out, that, what was it, win, dominate, repeat with Aaron Judge smoking. I'm like,
not a fan of that.
No, that was one of those moments where I was like, all right, you can actually just go fuck yourself. That's fine.
Yeah, you've tried too hard. Your social media team tried too hard.
They did. Oh my God. And I mean, like, I understand they're trying. You want to sometimes kind of mix up the pot, I guess you could say. I don't kind of forgetting what I want to say of that, but you want to kind of give shit to
stir the pot. I think is what you're looking for.
Stir the pot. Exactly. Synonyms. It's good. Yep. But I mean, besides, like, I don't know, that was just stupid. I don't know if it actually did light a fire under the Red Sox. I'd like to think it did, or maybe we got hot and the Yankees cooled off.
Well, the Yankees have now lost, I think it's 7 in a row.
Whew. Yep. They've cooled off.
And outside of Aaron Judge, have basically no offense and mostly questionable pitching, which, frankly, for the Red Sox, you could say the same thing if you substitute in Mookie Betts.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the questionable pitching, too. The Red Sox, I mean, minus Sale, and Sale even himself has seen some recent struggles. No, I won't. I don't want to say struggles, but like they haven't been Sale-esque performances. You know, he's given up. I think he's been right around a 4 ERA over his last 8 or so starts, which normally is fine. But for what he had about a 1.83 ERA through his first 6 starts. We thought he was going to run away with the Cy Young, go Bob Gibson levels.
Well, he was on a string there of like 7 innings, 2 earned, 10 Ks, just not even penciling it, just Sharpie marker, and then every time he took the mound.
Yeah, exactly. It's an event. It was like, I mean, my dad often compares it to Pedro Martinez back in the early 2000s when Pedro pitched, everyone was watching because he was just that good.
Right. I mean, they're very different pitchers. Obviously, Pedro's smaller, right-handed. Dominant pitch was the changeup. Slider's long, lanky, left-handed, and absolutely filth with a slider.
Oh, I mean, that slider's ridiculous.
That pitch is a wiffle ball.
Yeah, I think I tweeted at you like one of like those pitching ninja. Was it Rob Friedman?
I tweeted the Rob Friedman gif at me.
And I want to say it might have been Dallas Keuchel, and you just tweeted back just like, check that ball for holes, because I swear to God that's a wiffle ball, and it's true.
No, seriously.
Yeah, and for anyone who also enjoys good pitching gifs, at Pitching Ninja is phenomenal. What's the other one? Pitcher List.
Pitcher List. Yep.
Yep. Those are just so much fun to watch. It's funny. I'd always appreciated good pitching until I started, and then I really started to appreciate it watching that, because I look at it, I'm like, that's not fair. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, they show guys like, I think it's Felipe Rivero for the Pirates, who has the most unassuming windup, throws left-handed, and just pings corners at 102.
Oh my God.
It's like, that's not fair. It's not fair.
You don't hit that. Simple as that. But so getting back though to like the Sox pitching, Chris Sale this season 9-3 with 2.85 ERA, 100 innings pitched, and that strikeout 146 through 15
that leads the
games.
league by a mile at this point, I think. I
mean, if you're looking at most pitchers and where we are in the season, slightly below or before the halfway point, like he's on pace for 300 strikeouts.
That's great.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's just this is the kind of season, probably not quite the K numbers that you expected from David Price last year. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, Sale's younger, slightly more dominant phase of the career at this point, but this is really what you thought the Sale money. I mean, the Price money was going to go to.
Yeah, and I mean, Price, I was listening to Section 10. Got to give Section 10 podcast a shout out, because that's just a great Red Sox pod for whoever wants to listen to it after listening, of course, to the Common Room collab. Jerry Carrabis was talking about Price, and he was talking about first impressions with Price, where his first 7 outings were terrible, but then he pitched 24 straight great starts where he had like a 3.0 ERA. So I don't know, Price has been an enigma in Boston, but exactly, I totally agree with what you were saying there.
The thing with the Red Sox is, beyond Sale, I don't know if faith can be a negative number, but I'm probably about there with the remaining 4 starters.
Yeah, so let's look at this. Drew Pomeranz is your next wins leader, 6-4, shockingly, with a 4.07 ERA, 73 innings pitched. The issue with Pomeranz, though, is that dude can't go past the 5th inning. Hell, he can barely go past the 4th inning.
I will give him credit. The start today was fine. He got through 7. It was a quality start, and the bullpen blew it. But the rest of the year has just been okay. Yeah,
I mean, Pomeranz, former All-Star, but again, All-Star on a very shitty team, so it wasn't even like it was that impressive. He's just been, with the Red Sox in general, lackluster, but I feel like that's still being too nice with him.
Well, the funny part is, so as bad as we think he's been, I'm looking at his ERA right now, 4.07, FIP of 3.86. That's actually above league average for a starting pitcher right now. League average is about a 4.35, I think. So he's been considerably better than what an average pitcher would be. The problem with Pomeranz is, though, you had to give up Anderson Espinosa to get him, who's a top 50 pitching prospect in baseball.
Yeah, and I'd prefer not to give up a top 50 pitching prospect in baseball for a guy who's just above the average.
Right. The part that stings the most on this one, too, is that after the Padres' medical injury scandal around the All-Star break last year, the Red Sox had the chance to take this trade back.
Yeah, and I honestly, at that point, Pomeranz, I think, had started 2 or 3 games and blown all of them.
I was going to say it was not impressive.
So, and I just don't understand. Like, that's something where Dombrowski's probably thinking he's just got the jitters. He's coming because he came from San Diego. Yeah, coming from San Diego small market to the Red Sox, who are just absolutely like the meanest media in the entire world.
Yes.
Some of the most attentive fans in the entire world. So it's, I mean, maybe he was thinking, oh, well, you know, he just needs time to adjust. It took David Price time to adjust. But now we're seeing, I mean, whenever I see, oh, who's pitching, Drew Pomeranz, never even a shred of confidence for me.
Not so much from Pomeranz. The one redeeming thing there is the K rate. I mean, the guy's still striking people out. Like you said, though, the issue's going deep into games. And there's not too
I mean,
much
if you look
behind him, so.
Yeah, because if you look at Chris Sale, started 15, Pomeranz 14. Sale's got 107 innings. Pomeranz has 34 less.
Yeah,
34
Pomeranz is averaging just over 5 innings per start. Sale is now over 7.
Which that's what you'd love to see from your starting pitchers.
Sure.
Fortunately, not seeing that from Drew Pomeranz
even Erod's averaging 6 innings a game. And he's had injury concerns and lack of effectiveness and all kinds of things.
Yeah, Erod, looking at him, he's 4-2, 3.54 ERA, 10 games started, 11 games in total. Yeah, 60. Yeah, you're right. Yep, just 6 1/3 innings, or roughly 6 1/10, I guess technically.
I would say Erod's probably the second best pitcher on the team right now.
Yeah, he's that second guy. I mean, Price is. I honestly think it's just too early to judge Price back from his injury. He's got one good start, one bad start, one meh.
Right.
So it's. I mean, he's been all over the spectrum. So you can't. He is the second starter on this team. But Erod, he's been good. It's just that knee scares the hell out of me.
Right, because you have no faith that he's going to be there at any time you need him later in the year. He's also not really had a full workload in his major league career yet.
No, that's true.
I mean, this year's no different because he was on the DL, so his innings will still be capped unnaturally. But
yeah, because when he came over from the Orioles, he pitched for like half a season with us, had the knee injury, stayed out for half the season. So yeah, I mean, he's been on the DL half or more of most of his MLB seasons.
Yes.
Which is a shame because when he came over because that was the Andrew Miller trade. When he came over, we're like, oh, we got our ace of the future. Little did we know David Price is on his way the next offseason, then Chris Sale the next offseason after that.
And it's not to say that Eduardo can't be ace caliber. It's just, like you said, it's the injury history and the fact that you have little faith in him actually staying on the field. The peripherals look great.
Yeah.
The Ks are there, high left on base percentage, home run to fly ball is pretty low. The 3.5 ERA is nice. Not so nice, the 5.05 ERA of the former Cy Young winner, Frederick Rick Porcello.
Oh, yeah, good old Freddie P. Yeah, Porcello. And, of course, none of us expected him to go back-to-back on the Cy Young, which when Kate Upton went – yeah, like when Kate Upton went up and was, like, upset with Justin Verlander, I'm like, Verlander's, like, he's been there before. Do you think Rick Porcello has even like a snowball's chance in hell of winning again? Oh, hell no.
Right.
Of course not. But yeah, like you said, no one was expecting him to be even remotely this bad. 3-9, like you said, 5.05 ERA. Struck out only 85 so far, which actually that's not terrible. Giving up a lot of walks, and that's the number right there. Those the 16 home runs and 15 starts. Can't do that.
Yeah, he's getting pounded. The weird part is, so the K rate's up. The K to walk ratio is above career average. He's getting shelled, though. He's giving up 12 hits per 9. His average is about 10. And it's mostly line drives, and it's all hard contact. So his hard contact average career is 28%. This year it's 43. So almost half the balls off the bat are absolute laser beams.
Which I don't know what exactly he's doing, because he's more of a fastball pitcher, if I remember correctly, right?
I can
fastball changeup.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's 60% fastball, and then anywhere between 10 and 15% curveball changeup slider.
Okay. Yes, I mean, you look at that. Just I don't know if this fastball's lost effectiveness. I don't know what he's been pitching overall, like velocity wise. Maybe he lost a little bit. The games aren't being called as well by Vasquez or Leon, but something's up.
He's throwing Looks like more two-seam more four-seam fastballs than he has in the past, relying less on that sinker and throwing a lot less changeups.
Okay. The sinker. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that to me is he's being more aggressive and moving more towards looks like a fastball curveball mix, but that's not the guy he's been in the past. He's been a sinker ball changeup kind of guy.
Which is weird because when you win the award for the best pitcher in the league, you normally don't change up what you're doing.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it too. He's gotten a little unlucky this year. Batting average balls on play is 366. Career average 310, and last year his batting average on balls in play is 100 points higher than it was last year.
Which is,
so
there's
so many more base runners for him to deal with, which is why the whip is a point and a half.
Yeah, it was 1.53 whip, which
that's not good.
It's everything. So maybe I guess like if you look back at that, just maybe it's just that whatchamacallit, changing up his pitch distribution, stuff like that, just completely messes with him. Because I still don't understand why you'd ever do that. And Farrell's supposed to be the pitching manager, the guy, former pitching coach, and I just feel like pitchers who've come here for the time being with minus Chris Sale just get worse, and I'm very, very confused by that.
It certainly doesn't get better, does it?
No, it never. And Price has been very good. I'll say good with the Sox, but since Farrell's been here, Buchholz had that magical year in 2013 where he won 11 games in April or 11 games through May or something ridiculous. His first 10 starts. But I can't think of any great pitchers for this team. Now we have Sale, so that might change. But even Price has been.
But that's not Farrell made. I mean, that's an acquisition. There's nothing that we've had that's homegrown that's been otherworldly.
I mean, you look at Henry Owens. Get him the hell away from Fenway.
Henry Owens, Brian Johnson.
Yep, he had one good start. Good for but that's great.
Yeah, great. Congratulations, you had one. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those in about a month, all right, what have you done for me lately? You can only pitch one complete game or so many complete game shutouts, I guess.
Right. Well, I mean, the Red Sox farm system looks great in terms of position players. It's just the pitching that there's nothing there.
Well, we had Anderson Espinosa.
You had Espinosa and you had Michael Kopech, both of which.
Kopech was in the Sale trade.
Yeah, but I think we're completely fine with the way that one's going.
Yeah, no problem with that. I mean, honestly, we'll have to see what happens with Moncada in that trade too. But so far, so good. But yeah, you look at this. Joe Kelly acquired from the Cardinals, Porcello from the Tigers. Kimbrel was he the Braves or the Padres when we actually acquired him?
Got him by way of the Padres in that one. While we're on the topic, Craig Kimbrel might be having an all-time closer season. And I mean this very seriously. Not in terms of save numbers. He's not going to have, astronomical Eric Gagne type numbers. Craig Kimbrel right now has 59 Ks in 31 2/3 innings. Opponents are hitting, what is the average against?
Oh, let's see. I have it up here. The opponents are hitting .086.
That's disgusting.
He's unhittable.
He's given up 3 base runners in his last 20 appearances.
Yeah, he's got a whip of .44. So basically, he goes out there, 1 in every 11 guys gets a hit, and then once every 2 innings, he might give up a base runner.
Yeah, last year we were looking like Kimbrel doesn't even deserve to have the 9th. And this year, every game that he pitches is 8 innings because by the time the 9th comes around, it's close the door, pack up your car, and good night.
Yeah, it was almost like Koji time back in 2013 when he was just
Koji was not this. I will.
Oh, Koji was not
Koji
this.
to death. No. Koji is not this dominant. This is ridiculous.
This is Zach Britton levels from last season, but he has that confidence that when Koji came in,
he's striking out 53% of batters. 53. That's 1 in 2 guys is K.
That's fucked up. I just don't so you look at Kimbrel's pitched 31 2/3 innings, has, let's say for all intents and purposes, 32 innings, 60 strikeouts. Pomerantz is 82 and 73. Erod has only 65, and he's pitched double the amount of innings Kimbrel has.
That's because Kimbrel has that just absolutely nasty knuckle curve.
Which is just, it's like AJ Burnett back in the day, just almost unhittable.
It spikes beautifully. Can't touch it. Plus, he also throws 98.
Mhm,
up
which
to
helps.
100 if
Yeah.
he has to.
And he's got that wicked sick slump over instead for his like I don't know what you call that, his set or his
Yep. Well, it's like preset, I guess.
yeah, the preset,
Yeah.
which is just the most like this. Can you imagine Papelbon's stare back in like the late 20s or late 2000s was terrifying, but imagine Kimbrel hunched over just looking at you.
Oh no, thank you.
It's scary. And then he's going to throw 99
And the
100.
thing is, he doesn't even do it to be intimidating. He does it to avoid tendonitis.
Which is kind of like the nerdiest thing. I think I'm like, oh, it's so badass. I love that.
I'm saving my elbow, but I like the way this looks.
Yeah, it's true. Because I mean, like, I know a lot of people, Pat, our old suite mate being one, who when they like create pictures in MLB The Show, always Craig Kimbrel as the
You
preset.
should, especially if you're a closer, absolutely. If you're a starting pitcher, it'd be kind of annoying to look at 90 times a game, but
yeah. But as the guy who comes in, pitches hopefully 10 to 15 pitches at the max.
Great.
That's fine. Yeah. No big deal. And then, all right, so we'll keep going. Too much sunshine and rainbows. Let's talk about something bad.
Our fifth starter, take your pick.
Let's see. I was going to talk about Stephen Wright. Wright going down with the injury again. Totally forgot he was a person.
I'm not upset that we don't have him anymore.
No.
He was not pitching well to start the season, and as we joked about on the radio show, there was an article that came out in mid-May where John Farrell said that they couldn't start him in rain or heat or the sun or wind. It basically makes Stephen Wright unstartable, and the injuries took care of that for us.
Yeah, exactly. You could pitch him on the moon, and that was about it. It was ugly watching him pitch. I mean, he was 1-3. With a lovely low ERA of 8.25.
Yeah, getting absolutely shelled.
Batting average against, or the batting average, opponent's average against him, 377. He struck out. Granted, and now he isn't a strikeout pitcher. Simple as that.
No.
13 strikeouts in 24 innings. He gave up 40 hits in 24 innings. 22
also,
runs.
1 out of every 4 balls that went in the air was a home run.
No.
Well, in terms of fly balls, yeah.
That can't happen.
That's not good.
No, so I'm fine with him.
The thing is, if you tee up a knuckleball, you're going to crush it because there's nothing to it. It's a BP fastball. You just have to time the movement.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. And like back in the day, loved Tim Wakefield. He was always a fun guy to watch. But knuckleballers don't instill confidence in me because it's kind of just like, hopefully, like the universe comes together and everything's perfect, and this knuckleball will be fine.
Might as well be Merlin because grab a wand.
Just make that thing dance. Yeah.
Cosmo and Wanda had more control than Stephen Wright.
But actually, though, speaking of control over that knuckleball, Wright, I want to see, he actually, good control, only walked 5 in 24 innings. It's not terrible.
It's not awful.
It's not great, but it's better than I expected.
Sure.
But so that's the thing. So the Sox, this is great. Sox are in first place. I love it. Fuck the Yankees per usual. But
are we hopping over to the offensive side of the diamond? We haven't touched the.
I was going to talk quickly though about and granted we have Price back, but I'm a little scared. Let me readjust my chair. I'm a little scared about pitching and how you know what they say: offense sells tickets, defense wins games, pitching and catching wins championships.
Yes.
Well, catching Christian Vasquez, Sandy Leon, okay, they're all right. Pitching, Chris Sale will go out there. David Price, historically not good in playoff games, and then from there,
increasingly not good in the regular season.
Yeah, and then from there, because I feel like down the stretch, the Yankees are only going to lose 7 in a row. This is it. This is the last time they're going to lose 7 in a row.
This team's going to be in a pennant race.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about because they've been terrible for years now, and they didn't even go out and buy everyone. They grew this, which is, and again, I'm a Red Sox fan, of course. Don't like the Yankees. But at the same time, I love it because this is what they did in the 90s with Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, those guys. Mike Mussina came from the Orioles. But
yes,
with all those guys, like homegrown talent, Chuck Knobloch out there, just like the good guys, the good role players, the homegrown talent. Then 2000s, whenever there was at least a moderately big free agent, they signed him with just like they swooped in out of nowhere. Like, oh, we offered him $50 million. for
I mean,
like
they had the
2
money
seasons.
to do it, so they did it.
Yeah.
Scary note: the AL East right now is separated by 5 games, top to bottom.
Really?
Yeah, there's not much margin for error for anybody.
Even the Rays have made a resurgence.
The Rays are 2.5 back of first. It's the Blue Jays that are 5 back, and they started just awful.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, they started like 0-10, 0-8, something terrible.
Yeah, it was not good. They're another team that's having trouble with pitching too, which is okay.
Yeah, which I mean, a team also who last year had a lot of luck in the pitching department, which is surprising. But so let's switch other side of the diamond quickly. We'll go to
Let's go
the
around the
offense.
horn, I guess.
Yeah, around the horn. There it is.
So catchers, Vasquez, Leon, neither have been especially dynamic. I will say that Vasquez has been as good defensively as we thought he was going to be. A couple of absolute BBs against the Astros last Sunday night. But offensively, I mean, Sandy we knew was going to regress. He didn't disappoint.
Thank you, Sandy Ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, he's batting 220, 233. Vasquez is batting 294, but it's a fairly empty 294.
Yeah.
There's not much with it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at both the catchers, we knew they weren't going to be the offensive superstars. Sandy Leon, he's a very meh catcher, but for all the crap people can give him, the dude can go on tears. I think at one point last season he was the best hitter in the American League for like a month. Like he was just off the charts. Like 233. No, I mean he has more power than Vasquez. That goes without saying. Like you said, Vasquez a very hollow 294.
Right.
Because he's got what? All right, so he's got 37 hits, 10 doubles. He's got a triple. Good for him. Like not one of those. But yeah, it's kind of like, 294, only 13 RBIs to start the season. Nothing great.
Yeah, I mean, it's an uninspiring position. I mean, it becomes more evident as we go through the roster that it's not really something that the Red Sox need too much improvement on. I mean, they're fine with what they've got. They're going to compensate for it at other positions.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's no problem. Honestly, I'd prefer to have a catcher who calls a good game rather than, is hitting the cover off, like a la Joe Mauer from 2008 or whenever the hell that was, or Buster Posey for a more recent example.
All right, so now we'll slide on over to first. The wonderful, beloved Mitchie Two Bags, who increasingly over the last few months has been Mitchie Four Bags. He's discovered that hitting the ball over the wall is also okay.
Not just off the monster, over the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The original Carabas nickname, Mitchie Four Bags, is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Moreland, great off-season signing. We signed him for his glove, and I mean, he's doing great on the Sox. At the plate, excuse me.
The funniest part is he's having a fine season. I mean, he's 270, 9 home runs in 67 games.
Yep.
That's nothing to scoff at. It's just that he's fallen so far behind every other first baseman in the American League because everybody has just found a power stroke. It's incredible. I mean, you look at Justin Smoke, Yonder Alonso, Logan Morrison, Chris Davis. All these guys have just learned to magically hit 20 home runs.
20 home runs when you're 70 games, and that's pretty damn good. We're looking at multiple 40 home run guys if this trend continues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is, we haven't seen that since 1999, aka the steroid era, the game of shadows.
You might see it from 2 kids that are like 22 years old too, because Cody Bellinger is now leading the league with, I think it's 22 home runs, might be 23. He probably has hit another one while we're talking.
And then Aaron Judge.
Judge, yeah.
Judge, who probably should be playing power forward for the Knicks, but instead he's playing right field for the Yankees and just killing it. And it's funny, he's one of those guys who it's going to be really hard to hate him. I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it is. He's fun to watch. He hits the ball really far. He's going to make montages for a decade. And you're going to have to hate him because he wears pinstripes.
Yeah, exactly. But he also wears shirts based off The Sandlot and does funny stuff and is a salt of the earth great guy, which, like, goddamn, just be like, I don't know, just like getting a hit and run or do something shitty. Like, no, like a little dink and scratch the bumper and run. nothing illegal or too illegal.
Aaron, why'd you do it? This kid on a podcast told me to.
Let's get in a Boston Red Sox podcast.
Yeah.
But like I'm not gonna love to hate him. I'm gonna hate to love him because I'll be like, well, we're gonna play them in the playoffs or down the stretch and be like, oh well, Judge just hit 3 home runs this game. That's awesome. Yep. We're out of the playoffs. I hate you, but do you want to get a beer after this? Like, he seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we'll keep moving. Currently DL Dustin Pedroia has been the full-time second baseman. He's been fine. I mean, he hasn't been like peak Pedroia by any means, but batting almost 300, just doing his table setting duties. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, what do you got? Batting 296. Not a lot of power, but you don't see a ton of power from Pedroia. You never have. He's only got 2 home runs. He's hitting a lot of doubles.
A little bit more than that. But, I mean, he is aging. We do forget that. Yep. He's by far one of the oldest members of the team right now.
Which is, for me, I think Pedroia for our generation, maybe Youkilis might be the one before, but he's that first prospect that came up and became an impact player. Mm-hmm. So to me, he's always going to be 24.
Right. It was funny. Dan sent me the 2007 Baseball America or Baseball Prospectus Top 100 Prospects list.
Yep.
Pedroia was on the just missed the cut because they had concerns that he couldn't stay at shortstop.
Well, those concerns were valid, I guess. Can we...
And then he was Rookie of the Year and MVP. So,
yep.
Screw yourself.
Suck a dick. Yeah. I know. Oh my God. Yeah, that's one thing. You said peak Pedroia. I feel like Pedroia peaked in his second season because he won Rookie of the Year, then immediately wins MVP, and then makes All-Star games, and that's great. But he hasn't been anywhere.
But he's an awesome clubhouse guy. Like, he's just a good guy to have.
Because this is his clubhouse now. Ortiz, I hate to say it, he's gone. Poppy's gone. Just need a second. I'm sorry. But now this is Pedroia's clubhouse. Who else is going to Hanley's?
Maybe Hanley doesn't strike me as the deep emotional leadership type.
No, Hanley's not going to destroy the Orioles dugout phone or bring you all together in game 5 or 6 of the World Series and make Johnny Gomes hit a home run the next time. Like, that was Poppy. He's not going to go up and say this is our fucking city and no one can dictate our freedom.
I'm not sure you have a guy on the team that's like that. I mean, maybe it's Pedroia, but
yeah, you definitely don't have a guy like Poppy.
No. I mean, it's hard shoes to fill, naturally.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Actually, before we move on to the NBA draft, which isn't for a while anyway, we'll have to discuss tomorrow night. No, Friday night, excuse me, David Ortiz number retirement ceremony.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, right, he's still got 2 days to come back out of retirement.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll through this, and then we'll get to those NBA topics. So, shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Zandy's been fantastic.
Zandy ball game. Let's see. Let me go down to shortstop. Bogaerts.
22.
Yep. Oh, he's got. It's funny. It took him forever to hit a home run. Now he's got 5 all of a sudden.
Well, the funny part about him is he comes into spring training every year and says he's just going to focus on one thing. Last year, I think it was the power, and he hit 22 home runs.
Yep.
This year it's the steals. He's got 8 stolen bases in 70 games, which for a guy that traditionally didn't run all that much is fairly good. Which
is good too, because I mean, as a team too, there's not really a lot of runners at all.
No, I mean Mookie's leading the team at 11. He's also leading the team in home runs.
Yeah, he pretty much by the end of the season leads the team in everything, so that's fine.
Pretty close. So we'll move on to the black hole that is the Red Sox third base situation. This is one of the most desolate positions in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
I want people to tell me a situation that could have been better and is this bad.
Yeah, so you have sweet swinging Pablo Sandoval, 10-time All-Star Steve Selski, and then journeyman utility man Josh Rutledge. you have no one.
Yeah, you also had Marco Hernandez at one point. We've tried Brock Holt over there.
Yep.
We tried Devin Marrero over there, and then he dislocated his shoulder.
I'm going to do a fun exercise here. Versus batting left on the split stats. Pablo Sandoval has a 228 average. Okay, I actually don't believe that. Maybe that's versus lefties I should be looking for. There he is. He's batting 150 against lefties.
And he bats switch, so he has the option to bat right-handed in that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
I mean, you can't fault him. A lot of guys that are switches are natural right-handers.
Yep.
Well, actually, no. That is the exact opposite argument I'm trying to make. No, he should hit lefties better.
Yeah, he should. And I don't know. Well, that's the thing is Farrell has literally no faith in him batting from the left side, where he put Christian Vasquez, the catcher, played third base.
Yeah, and you know what? He probably did a fine job.
Yeah, I trust Vasquez. He's good at blocking balls, in the dirt. He can play third base, but that's how little faith they have in him. Now Sandoval's done for a while for the inner ear thing. I really don't know the extent of that injury, but it just doesn't seem.
I'm not inspired by anything that's on the major league roster. There are options out there in the trade market. I mean, we could get Mike Moustakas, you could get Jim Lowry, you could get. I've heard Todd Frazier floated around. Any of those guys are significantly better than what's on the bench, and probably better than Pablo Sandoval at this point. Not to mention, you also have this nice young prospect, Rafael Devers, sitting down there, and I think he's in double right now.
Yeah, Devers is in double, and it's interesting because Devers isn't the same player as Benintendi, where Benintendi got called up from Double A and didn't miss a beat. Devers, I think, is also he needs Triple A most. I mean, he's hitting the cover off the ball, but also he's 19, 20. He's
like 20. I think he needs an adjustment period.
Yeah, where Benny had 3 or 4 years at Arkansas to really hone his craft, where Devers is still a young kid. I'm fine with taking your time with Devers until this becomes a terrible problem. In that case, Rafa, get the hell up here.
Well, the thing is, the Red Sox are in a weird position this year because they're leading the American League East, and I'm not inspired to believe they're a title team.
No, they're not. And I absolutely hate saying that.
I mean, you have to go through the buzzsaw known as the Houston Astros right now.
And the Astros are rolling. They're hitting the cover off the ball. They're averaging like 13 runs or 10, 13 runs a game.
Yeah, I mean, they hit from 1 to 9. The pitching's just okay right now because Keuchel's DL'd and so's McCullers.
Yep.
But they're just finding guys out of the woodworks. Like Brad Peacock's come out and he's throwing 5 innings a game with 10 Ks, just pretty much every start. Francis Martez looks okay. He's avoided the walk issues too badly at this point. And like you said, they hit. I mean, Correa's great. George Springer might be the best leadoff man in baseball. Bregman's had a down year. They still have that guy called Jose Altuve. I mean, the roster's deep.
Altuve is just a consummate MVP candidate.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. He's so fun to watch.
He is, and he's like 5'2". He's super short, isn't he?
He's 5'7". Okay.
Okay, no, that's not bad then.
You also root for Dustin Pedroia, who's like a 5'4" man that's listed at 5'9".
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, Petey's time. I want to meet Pedroia mostly to test, because like when I met Isaiah, I was like about to walk up to meet him, and I'm like, all right, just remember his height, and I'm like, Pedroia would be so much shorter than even Isaiah Thomas.
Yep.
All right, so now to the outfield.
To the outfield, the Killer Bees. Benintendi, Betts, and Bradley.
So
I read an article the other day that claimed that those 3 outfielders could win the Gold Glove at the same time.
Really?
And it's not that outlandish if you really think about it.
No, what I love watching is Andrew Benintendi playing the Green Monster, because he plays it to perfection, where if it's off, normally something high off the monster is a double. He can make it a single because he just plays it perfectly, like kind of grabs it with the bare hand or grabs it in the glove on the perfect transition, gets it in quicker than Manny Ramirez can do it. We'll put it that way.
Right, and then you have Bradley, who's the ultimate patroller out there in center field. There's balls that just physically he should not be able to get to that he'll lay out for and just hit him with no problem.
He's so fun to watch out there, because that's the thing is it's nice having that center fielder. I mean, also have Benintendi who can play center field. Mookie's got so much range, but having a guy who's still like leaps and bounds ahead of those guys, where you see something hit and you're like, Jackie's probably got that.
Yeah.
And nice. He sacrifices his body.
Right, and then you have Betts out there who has an absolute cannon.
Yep. It's like, hold the phone. He's got a cannon.
Yeah, you're
Straight out of Dodgeball. Mookie Betts. Oh, my God. Also, I haven't watched the video, but what was this thing? We're getting totally off topic. Talking ESPN 8, the Ocho. Ben Stiller put out a video as White Goodman about playing volleyball with people.
Yeah, there's some charitable dodgeball tournament that's happening based on the actual movie Dodgeball, which excites me to unfathomable levels.
I hope ESPN actually makes a new like channel, ESPN.
If they put the ESPN the Ocho, like you can charge me $100 for that month for my cable bill, I will watch.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I would watch. And if you just get everyone from the Globo Gym Purple Cobras, I'd lose it. Like Blazer and Taser and all kinds of aces.
Sure, you've met my fitness consigliere, Michelle.
Michelle. Oh, I love that movie. We could honestly have an entire 3-hour pod of just us quoting Dodgeball and then laughing hysterically.
I've seen it so many times. I can quote it from start to finish.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god! Just anything White Goodman says actually just gets me.
I'm white. WHIT.
Yeah.
E.
I love when he's coming down. Are you reading the dictionary? Yeah, I like to break a mental sweat. Pumps up his little like crotch like cup.
Yeah.
Oh god, Kate Veach. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. There, I felt bad.
All right, let's circle back here.
Circle back, reel it in. Andrew Benintendi.
And we'll make it short. Red Sox outfield's good. I'm not worried about any of them. They're hitting the cover off the ball.
Benny Baseball, eight stolen bases on the year, 274. He's got 10 dingers. Like he's got a triple.
While we're on Benny, I've got a good discussion topic for you on the Red Sox Instagram. It is the battle of the flow. Who you got? You got Benny or Brock?
You got to give it to Benny. It's longer, but it's also just much more like classic. Where Brock's isn't
a better player, I think, which helps.
That's true. I mean, like I'd like to think I'd give credit where credit's due, but I mean. Brock Holt. We've met Brock Holt. He's a nice guy, you know. Like,
he's a nice born and raised little Texan guy.
Yeah, exactly. Which, not gonna lie, the Soul Patch wasn't a fan of that.
It's a little weird. Yeah,
it is. I love the Flow Bros, and I really hope they're like good friends in real life. I don't know if they, hang out and be like, "So Brock, what product do you use?" or anything like that. But I love that you have like
fangirl so hard.
You have Sandy and Christian Vasquez talking about just like pitch calling with like David Price, and then you have Holt and Benny over there just like, well, I prefer L'Oreal Paris personally. But no, it's got to be Benny. It's beautiful, feathered and lethal.
There it is.
And we circle back again.
All right, so we'll move on from the Red Sox. So, Dan, it is June 21st.
Yes.
Going into tonight's action, the Red Sox are tied in the standings record-wise in second by percentage points to the New York Yankees. How does this AL East play out to you as of this exact moment?
This is my favorite moment of the year because this is when you can actually start looking and like guessing what's going to happen.
You've got a feel for these teams.
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah. Oh yeah. So actually we've played 4 more games than the Yankees have? Wow.
Yes.
I think the Yankees take it. I think the Red Sox get a wild, which I don't like. I don't like this new wild card format. I don't like one and done games in baseball. I think it's good for the game. I like having a lot of teams in the playoffs. I just, as a fan, it scares me. Right. I think the Yankees will take it. I think they're just a more sustainable team in the long run. Look for the Red Sox. I honestly, low key, rooting for the Rays to get that second wild card spot.
It's definitely possible.
I don't know what the other. Let me look up the other teams, how they're doing compared to the Rays, because I'm interested. So the Rays have 39 wins in the Central. They'd be winning the Central right now. They have more than even the Indians. The Rays have the second American League wildcard spot, as if the season ended June 21st. But I say Yankees will take it. Aaron Judge hits 44 home runs on his way to maybe a Fred Lynn repeat. As MVP and Rookie of the Year. But I still think the Sox, push comes to shove, comes to the playoffs. I think we make it out of the ALDS. I think we have the opportunity to do that, but this team scares, like long term, this team scares me.
I'm going to believe in the Red Sox, I think, to take this. I have questions about the Yankees offense, especially when the Judge regression starts.
Okay.
I think the Rays finished third. I think the Orioles pitching kills this team, and I think the Jays probably come in fourth, Orioles fifth.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, I didn't even go down the rest of the list. Yeah, I'll agree with you on the Orioles and the Jays. Those two, to me, I was like, meh. No, they're birds. It's fine.
Yes. All right, so switching gears,
Yes.
We'll move to another Boston sport, shall we say, one near and dear to Daniel's heart. And that is the boys in green.
Yes.
Your Boston Celtics.
Rocking that Kelly green. Are we starting with draft talk or trade talk? That's the real question.
They're kind of one and the same. I think we'll start trade.
Right.
We'll finish draft just because the trade has some implications.
Yep. So we'll put it this way. So I just started my job on Monday, so I'm not totally comfortable like within my skin yet in it, so I don't feel comfortable looking at my phone a lot. But tomorrow is going to be a very painful day for me because trade rumors are going to be just insane. I can guarantee you tomorrow every single All-Star, former MVP, and former All-Star in the league will be linked to the Boston Celtics. I can absolutely guarantee you that.
I mean, I have to imagine so. So the trade that has gone down for the Boston Celtics is the number 1 overall pick to the Philadelphia 76ers for the 3rd pick in this year's draft. And then the next year's pick will come from the Lakers if it falls between 2 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
In the event that is not the case, the pick will come from the Sacramento Kings in the following year.
Yep. I think this trade works out. What I've been thinking, I was just talking to the runner of the Gentleman TV YouTube channel. Check it out. Actually, at TGTV official on Twitter. Great YouTube channel. But with that, we believe that the Celtics never actually want to draft Markelle Fultz, and that they were going to draft a Tatum or a Jackson. Or actually, this just came in too. This was 20 minutes before we started recording this, so maybe about an hour ago. The Celtics may look to trade back even further to get Dennis Smith from NC State.
I saw that. I'm intrigued by that. I just don't know which team is going to want to move up to 3. I've heard Sacramento might be interested.
Yeah, but they want Jackson.
But the situation's hard though because 5 and 10 is a weird package for 3.
Yeah, it is.
That's too much for Sacramento to get. I mean, it's a fine haul for the Celtics. Mm-hmm. I'm perfectly fine with that, but the Celtics have to give something else up for Sacramento to take that deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's one of those things. I don't know if Danny, it's one of those things where he just wants more assets, but I don't know how much of a reach Dennis Smith even is, considering we took Terry Rozier, which, if you're talking the 16th overall pick.
Smith is a top 10 talent.
Yeah.
People have concerns about the floor.
The floor? Oh, his floor? Like his draft floor, you mean? Yeah. I know. I think let me bring up. I'll open Draft Express right now. Let me exit out all of this, all of the Red Sox stuff, so our thing doesn't crash again because I have way too many tabs open. Oh, that's what we need. Like a half an hour into this. All right, so on Draft Express, so let's quickly go through and just see Fultz, Ball, Tatum's now expected to go to the Celtics, Jackson to the Suns, De'Aaron Fox to the Kings, and I have to load the rest of the mock draft. Thank you, Draft Express. I'm not going to crap on Draft Express.
I have it up if you need it.
Perfect. I got it here. So we're good. Dennis Smith currently 9th to the Mavericks.
Yes.
But I mean, I could see him falling. The Knicks need a point guard because I think is Rose still on one more season on his deal.
Doesn't matter. But Malik Monk can play combo guard for them. So if they really need to put him at point guard, they could.
But then, I don't know how much of because I think if you're going to take a point guard at the 3rd spot, it's going to be De'Aaron Fox. It's got to be because
the top 2 guards are already gone at that point. I mean, you might as well take one of the wings. The Celtics need wings anyway. You have enough guard depth.
Yeah, and I would be very disappointed if the Celtics took Jackson because that's like drafting Jaylen Brown 2 years in a row.
It is, and Tatum supposedly is the far more polished offensive player. I've seen articles this week that talk about his footwork, comparing him to Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Who, I don't know if you've heard of him.
He's pretty big around Boston.
Good things in a Celtics uniform.
Yeah. No, I never complain about watching Paul Pierce. But Tatum kind of reminds me of that because Tatum's also not like crazy athletic. If you're going to be an NBA player, especially a wing player, you have to be athletic. But he does remind me of Pierce. We need a good scorer, someone to complement Isaiah. We don't need another Bulldog defender who's athletic as hell, but doesn't have a jump shot, which Tatum's jumper, I was being told earlier, his like 3-point percentage was roughly what Brown's was in college, so that could be something of concern.
But even then, like, you don't need him to be a 3-point stretch forward. You just need him to score the basketball. We just need somebody to take some pressure off Isaiah.
Yeah. And I would love to see some sort of combo next year. And again, this is all contingent is if we actually draft people, and not just trade it for Jimmy Butler, Paul George, Anthony Davis. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But like I'd love that, like a young small lineup. You have like Isaiah Bradley, Tatum at the small forward, put Jalen at power and Al at center, and you have 5 guys who can shoot.
That's solid.
Which is that's the modern NBA. You don't pound it anymore, which is kind of a shame. It's fun to watch that, but still.
And that lineup doesn't even include the potential acquisition of Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, that's true. I know. I keep forgetting that Gordon Hayward will hopefully want to come here to have a nice reunion, a Butler reunion with Brad Stevens.
Oh, I'd be all on board for that.
Yeah, I love me some Gordon Hayward. I feel bad for the city of Utah, the state of Utah and the city of Salt Lake City, because they finally don't have a crappy team. They built this great team, and
now the focal point's leaving.
Yep. I would feel bad, but at the same time, I want to beat LeBron and I want to beat the Warriors. So
see, that's the thing, that the Celtics are in a really awkward position, because if it's true that Cleveland does have a chance of getting Paul George or Jimmy Butler, Celtics can't contend with this.
Yeah.
They just can't, which I'm sure Danny's aware of. So either this pick is a means of getting equal talent to those acquisitions, or it's just kicking the can down the road.
Yeah,
and waiting eventually for LeBron to leave the Eastern Conference.
Which could come as early as next season with the recent rumors of him maybe going to LA, Clippers, Lakers. Where else? There were a bunch of teams that people were thinking he might go to.
Those were the big two. He wants to do one of the reclamation projects in LA.
Yeah, which I think that's fine. Could you imagine if George and LeBron somehow went to the Lakers? Because Paul George, like I was saying earlier, Paul George is kind of like in soccer when players go out on loan. Paul George plays for the Lakers. He's on loan in Indiana. There's like a 100% chance he's going there. But adding LeBron to that too would just be crazy.
Right, and transitioning nicely to our next trade topic, the Lakers appear to have cleared up some cap space to make a move like that. In recent days, they traded D'Angelo Russell and basically the contract of Timofey Mozgov. There is a real human behind it, but he's basically just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
To the Philadelphia 76ers. No, sorry, excuse me. To the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
For
Another
Brook Lopez and 27, I believe is the pick.
Yes, pick 27 exactly. Yep. Classic salary dump move. This makes sense, I think, for both teams. The Nets get a good young player, a center, a serviceable center, a guy who, in my opinion, has become that contract he signed was just strictly because he played with LeBron. Because any player who plays with LeBron immediately looks more valuable.
Well, plus that was just a weird year for free agency because it was the year that the cap rose for everybody. And a lot of teams were staring at the bottom level of that cap where they were going to get a penalty for not spending money. So they're like, oh, Timofey Mozgov's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Garrett Temple made $12 million a year, or $12 million this season.
Tyler Johnson made 18?
He made 8. Yeah, good for him. He was victim of circumstance is not right. The recipient, the winner of circumstance, that was definitely Tyler Johnson because the Heat just wasted a bunch of money. But that's the thing is Austin Ainge just said this before. Teams don't go, oh God, we're paying this dude $10 million a year. They're going, okay, we're giving him 6% of our salary cap.
Right.
Because all the teams have the money. Every team has the 150 mil or whatever sitting in the bank. It's all a matter of who they spend it on.
Sure.
So that's good. And then, okay, so continuing on, the Nets get a good young player and a serviceable center. And then the Lakers get a good serviceable power forward center. We'll just call him a front court player for the season. And then another draft pick. I mean, Lopez was going to leave the Nets next season anyway. I think this is a really great deal the Nets made. And it works to the Lakers' long-term plans. So a lot of people were questioning, like, why the hell would they do that? But to me, it made absolutely perfect sense.
I mean, the Lakers know they're going to tank again this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they just traded away the franchise point guard.
Yeah. Lopez is not.
Well, the Lakers also know they're getting Lonzo.
Yeah, that's the thing is, so there was like the debate, oh, will they go up and take Tatum or Jackson? I read somewhere now that Russell's gone, where they already had Russell and Clarkson.
It's definitely Lonzo.
Yeah, it's one. It's like they're
I am
taking him.
so excited for the Lonzo media circus. I
Oh, it's
cannot
gonna be
wait.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna
Lonzo.
hate every minute of it,
Yep.
but I'm gonna love it.
Oh, it's gonna be perfect. LeVar Ball, you're gonna see him more than President Trump, just any at LeBron, it's more than every other popular person combined. It's gonna be unbelievable.
God, I'm so excited.
I'm gonna get so annoyed so quickly where I'm just gonna see LeVar Ball's face every time I open up Twitter and just throw my phone eventually. It's oh my god. I'm excited for Lonzo. I'm really excited for him, and I think he's gonna be a successful NBA player, but just oh man. And we still have two more balls. two more balls. Two more Ball brothers coming in to UCLA.
And supposedly the next two are better than this one.
Yeah, which is I'm very interested to see because
I'm curious.
I know. Well, no, Lonzo's a great shooter. I know LaMelo just shoots the cover of the ball. Just shoots that. It's like the basket's an ocean. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I did one thing I felt terrible for Lonzo for. I think it was when LeVar was on First Take for the second time, just bickering with Stephen A. And he goes like, so Stephen A. goes like, so do you think this like taints like Lonzo's reputation because he got eliminated in the Sweet 16, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And LeVar just goes, oh, that doesn't matter. I still got two more coming in to win the title. And I'm just like, oh, well, Lonzo, by the way, oh, yeah, you're a great player. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, your brothers are better than you.
Yeah, your dad's got two more ready to go, so you don't matter anymore. I'm like, dude, it's your kid. Like, come on.
Right.
But I like that move. So then that kind of puts the Lakers at what? You'll have Ball, Clarkson, Ingram, Randall, Lopez.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And Lopez is a great player, but I do question because he's been on a very bad team for a lot of years. So I'm questioning.
There's no motivation there. I mean,
no, there isn't.
For him, it's just prove yourself and get paid.
Yeah. And he'll get paid handsomely if he has a good season.
Right.
And he's playing with a bunch of young guys. I hope he takes it as like an opportunity to like, oh, let me mentor some young guys. Let me have a good season. Let me make $35 million next season.
He should put up numbers. I mean, he's the focal front court player, and because I'm anticipating Julius Randle will miss at least 20 games for some assorted injury reason.
I'd imagine, yeah, an undisclosed lower body injury, as they would say in hockey.
Right.
Yeah, that I would absolutely agree with that. So that's an interesting trade though, and I like it. That was out of the blue. The other trade from last night, I need to look up the details of this. Dwight Howard.
What was this thing?
Yeah, Dwight Howard to the Hornets. Dwight Howard. Oh, actually, we'll play this. We're gonna do a little gambling right now. Over under, Matt. All right. Mm-hmm. Over under 22.5 games when Dwight Howard has some sort of hissy fit about how much he hates the Hornets.
Can this be in the post game?
Yes.
Taking the over.
Okay, taking the over? All right. I can respect that.
Although, I don't know, 22 and a half games seems like a lot. I mean, that's a quarter of the season where you're anticipating him having a hissy fit. I think he could get traded again before then.
That's true. You never know. I mean, I hope, because the Hornets are just a very like lackluster team at this point. They got Kemba, they got a couple of good players, but it's kind of like, yeah.
I mean, the funny tweet I saw today was there are 4 teams in the last decade that are better off having Dwight Howard leave them.
4 teams?
Yeah, because you have to go. It's what? Magic, Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Magic, Lakers, Rockets.
Yeah, and now Hawks.
You know what's hilarious is when Howard, remember, because Howard to the Lakers was supposed to be the second super team, that team that was going to beat LeBron and Wade and Bosh.
Come close.
That one didn't. Well, no, actually, I shouldn't say that. It did make sense to me. You still had Kobe at the end of his prime.
Well, you had end of Kobe, end of prime Nash, who then came with the back injury.
Yep. Yeah, Nash. By one, Nash get a back injury free, and then Dwight Howard, who and granted, when he led the Magic to the finals, we were still in that old schoolish NBA 8 years ago. But as a center, single-handedly leading a pretty crappy team to the finals. Him and Rashard Lewis, and that was it. is so impressive, and I will always respect him for doing that.
But Dwight doesn't fit the modern NBA. He's
No, he doesn't.
athletic, yes, but can't stretch the floor to save his life. I mean, he's
Nope.
physically cemented to the rim.
Yeah. It's like it's one of those things. Shaquille O'Neal, one of my all-time favorite players. Shaq wouldn't survive in the modern NBA. I'd like to think because he's so dominant that he could, but I don't know if he wouldn't get the opportunities.
So the thing about Shaq is just, as you said, he's so big that if you just get him down the floor and can set up in the half court, he would absolutely obliterate a smaller center. Like he would just run train over somebody like Al Horford.
It's so much fun watching old Shaq. I think you can like go on YouTube and just look up like Shaquille O'Neal like domination, something like that, and it's like funny to watch. You're like, that dude, that's just not fair.
7 feet 3 bills, like the man was athletic.
Like 280. Yeah, I mean, they say, Jordan's the best player of all time, LeBron best all-around player, Shaquille O'Neal most dominant player. I think I have to agree.
I don't know about that.
Ooh, interesting.
Have you seen the Wilt Chamberlain tapes?
Oh, that's true.
And the numbers, I mean, understand that the quality of play is slightly lower, but yeah, the numbers that Wilt could put up were astonishing.
That's true. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna take that for what you just said. I'll have to respect that.
Sure.
It's not easy to score 100 points in a game. I've done it in 2K a couple of times, but still, that was on rookie settings. Well, yeah, this Howard trade. Okay, so let's break it down. Howard to the Hornets, easy.
Yep.
Charlotte sends Miles Plumlee, who, to be honest, there are so many Plumlee brothers at this point, I don't even know who that is. I think it's the blonde one, and is it?
They're interchangeable pieces. It really doesn't matter which one you pick. They're the same player.
I would say Marshall Plumlee's the psychopath who went to Duke. I think Miles is like the young one with the hair, and then there's an older one who plays for the Bucks. Marco Bellinelli, a serviceable, good 3-point shooting point guard. Still past his
He's a bench
time.
guy.
He's a good spark plug, we'll put it that way.
Yep.
And the 45th pick. Oh, and then Atlanta also gets the 41st pick. Atlanta gets the 31st. So that's pretty good.
Yes.
But yeah, I kind of confused. I think the Hawks at this point, they just want to dump him. I don't know if they're ready to hit the reset button because Millsap's the free agent this season.
Yeah, I mean, they're going full rebuild, I think. There's nothing really to build around right now. I mean, I guess it's Jeff Teague's team.
I think it's still Millsap's, but
if he's leaving, then it's not going to be.
Then it's Jeff Teague's team playing alongside him.
That doesn't bode well for you in the future.
Nope.
Remember when they were? Oh, look at the Hawks! They won the NBA title, led by Jeff Teague.
Yeah. You look at the Warriors and say, oh, they have Curry, Durant, Thompson, and Green. Or
we got Jeff Teague.
We got Jeff Teague. Oh, who else do you have? Dennis Schroeder. Anyone else? Oh, we got Marco Bellinelli. Oh, that's what did it for you.
Nailed
Marco Bellinelli. He might be able to hit a clutch
three.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God, yeah. So that, I think the Hawks just want to get rid of Dwight. I think they're ready to hit the reset button. I think this might be a clear cap space. Try to re-sign Millsap or try to sign someone else in order to entice Millsap back.
But there's not too much that they could get. Because the free agent market right now is basically Griffin, Hayward, Millsap.
Yeah. Curry, technically, but
Curry's not going anywhere. Durant just opted out. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I think that's about it. No. And I mean, even I'm just going to throw out a random name like Cody Zeller. That might be the next tier down. Where you might get a decent young player coming off.
None of these are pieces that you're going to attract Millsap with or be able to build around.
Yeah, so unless they somehow get Hayward, which I doubt, Dwight.
No, Hayward's going to come down to the Jazz, the Celtics, and the Heat.
Yeah. The Heat kind of came out of nowhere for Hayward. That would be an interest. I kind of would be interested to see if he landed there. What happened? I think he'd make a mistake not coming to the Celtics, playing under his old coach and playing for a title.
Yeah, I mean, I completely support that argument, despite all the homeristic undertones that one carries.
That's true. Yeah, just so we're the best team, we have the best coach, we have the best small guy in the league. LeBron sucks. Come to Boston. That's the argument. Yeah. Easy enough.
Enjoy our income taxes.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving on now, trades. From real trades to fake trades. The rumor mill is swirling. Tomorrow is literally Christmas Day for an NBA fan who loves mayhem. I'm sure I'll be sending you about 50 Instagram posts being just like, oh yeah, there's this deal. We can trade the third pick for LeBron, Kyrie, and Steph Curry in a 3-team trade. Like it's some stupid stuff's going to come up.
Although there's one today that was not completely stupid.
Mm-hmm.
There are rumors that the New York Knicks are shopping the one and only the Porzingis.
The God. I would freak out if the Celtics acquired him.
Unfortunately, they've been asking for like a gazillion pieces.
Yeah, which we have a gazillion picks. So, yeah. I think that's where our picks would work to the advantage because Melo's going to be traded probably soon. If they're trading Porzingis, that's the complete reset button where we drafted this kid 2 years ago. Let's trade him.
Right.
He's our new piece for the future. Let's get him the hell out of here.
And the funniest thing is he's a stretch 5 who can shoot the ball, rebounds really well, and is basically the prototypical player that you want to play that role in the modern NBA. The thing is the Knicks are just an absolute dumpster fire around him.
Mm-hmm. And Phil Jackson is just leading that team down the crapper for a guy who's won as a coach 11 championships.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think he ever won one as a Knick, but I don't know way back when. He might have.
Forget which player they had in for workouts last week.
Oh, Lauri Markkanen?
But they basically – no, it wasn't Lauri. It was one of the guards, and they basically were like – it might have been I think it was either Monk or Fox. And they said that they spent 45 minutes of the hour and a half just working on the triangle. Like, just Phil, let the triangle die.
Yeah. If the Knicks have sucked with guys like Melo and Porzingis, even D Rose passes,
just get rid of it.
Yeah, I just straight up don't understand that. And also, again, we've said it so many times on our radio show and even tonight, modern NBA, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't. So, the spacing doesn't flow. They don't have the team to run it because Lord knows Carmelo Anthony doesn't pass the ball.
It's fair. It's more than fair. Yes, so I just don't understand that. But I feel like the Celtics could line up nicely to trade with the Knicks because we have 10 first rounders in the next 4 years.
Yeah, I think we have 8 in the next 3.
Yep. So we're set. We also have a couple that probably will be early lottery, like that. Even that Sacramento pick. Sacramento do have the opportunity with 5 and 10 in a draft like this, where basically picks 1 through 10 could all be great. Sacramento could hit on both and just have an amazing future. So you never know.
Which is fine, but there's still a pretty good chance the Lakers next year are garbage.
Yep.
And getting rid of D'Angelo Russell almost cemented it.
Yeah. Because Ingram's still developing. Russell, even though he's still young, he's still younger than both of us.
Yeah. You just can't have the Lakers be terrible enough to pick first.
Yep, exactly.
You need the Nets to still continue to be the Nets.
Which D'Angelo Russell is, unless he really improves, he's not going to change that team. No, but so that's interesting. The Porzingis definitely in play for the Celtics if these rumors are true. But the next most obvious one's Jimmy Butler. Apparently Butler told the Bulls he didn't want to be traded to the Cavs. And there's been talk from Cavs players saying, don't come here. It's like we're in complete turmoil. David Griffin being fired by Dan Gilbert as Dan Gilbert is instilling martial law in Cleveland. And
the thing with the Cavs is that Gilbert was always the guy in charge anyway. The GM was a figurehead.
I think the thing is, Gilbert's making a huge mistake. And I don't know if he's just testing everything, but LeBron loved David Griffin. You don't go against LeBron because LeBron just leaves you.
Well, you can also make the argument that LeBron is the GM of the team anyway.
That's another fair thing. It's like if he loves Ty Lue, if you fire Ty Lue, it's like, well, you just kind of fired the Queen and Biggie still have Parliament. It's fine. In our most nerdy example or analogy of the evening.
I like bringing British politics to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah. We'll have a British politics segment every week. It's fun. But yeah, so that whole Cavs situation is interesting. But that leaves, it's been the Celtics and the Cavs, which I just kind of also hate that no matter, it's like the Yankees in the mid-2000s, no matter what it is, whether it's a trade or a free agent, the Cavs are always in play somehow. I think
absolutely.
I think the Cavs signed 25 players this season or so, it felt like.
Well,
Like
the thing
it
is,
just
they
felt like
can get
every
all these
player was thinking
veterans
about
on
him.
those low contracts.
Yeah, because I mean, like I was listening to the Ringer podcast with Kevin Durant, and Kevin's like, yeah, Dave wasn't ring chasing. Like David West was ring chasing. Are you kidding me?
They all were.
Yeah, Derek Williams. Derek Williams is like 24. He's ring chasing.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, Andrew Bogut ring chasing. Andrew Bogut signed with them, and then he broke his leg within like
Well,
15
Bogut ring
seconds.
chased for both sides of them.
Yeah, he did.
The first time they were in the playoffs finals together, Bogut was getting a ring either way.
Yeah, exactly. Same with like Anderson Varejao last season. So it just that's like another thing the Cavs are known. And I love Kyrie Irving. I love Kevin Love. I've always loved LeBron, but just that team's pissing me off so much. But so Jimmy Butler, then the Celtics seem like the only team that's really making a heavy push. I've heard they've already had one of their offers rejected though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think teams are starting to push Danny. It's the classic example is 2 seasons ago trying to trade up for Willie Cauley-Stein. Danny said to move up from 16 to 10 was going to cost them like 5 or 6 first-round picks, which is stupid because it would have cost them this year's Brooklyn pick. Like, let me trade you the number 1 overall pick to move up 5 spots to get a guy who frankly isn't that good yet.
No, it's not worth it.
No.
I imagine the Butler one is probably going to be the 3rd pick, Crowder, and either a pick or another piece.
I was thinking it'd be that Lakers/Kings thing that we got in that pick, the 3rd pick, and Crowder or Bradley. I mean, because if you're trading Crowder for Butler, you're basically upgrading your Marquette guys.
Right. And throwing in a first-round pick to Sweden.
Yeah. And then next up, just the total pipe dream, Anthony Davis. That's going to cost
the Celtics could throw a package together for him.
Yeah. I mean, if also the Pelicans might want to reset everything. We could throw in.
The package would have to involve, my guess is Bradley or Crowder, definitely Jaylen Brown, and 2 first-rounders.
I was thinking, I would honestly prefer to throw Bradley and Crowder in, save Brown, and throw in like 2 or 3 first-rounders on that one. That's what I would prefer because I just see so much upside in Jaylen, but at the same time, I feel like you'd have to deal him in, or just trade all our first-rounders we have for the next 2 seasons. I'm okay with that.
Well, you get into difficulties trading all the picks though, because I don't think you can trade picks in back-to-back years. Although our picks come from other teams, so I don't know if we fall victim to that.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure to be completely honest.
Because I know we ran into the Nets ran into that in the Garnett deal.
Yep. Oh, you're right.
Where we kept getting every other year because you can't have multiple consecutive years without a first-round pick.
And it's and then why this year was a pick swap or something like that too. Maybe that was it. Okay, that would make more sense. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see the Davis deal go through. I mean, just imagine. Let's say it's. I'd say Bradley is more value than Crowder. I'd prefer to trade. I love Jay Crowder. He's my favorite player on the Celtics, but he's been garbage. So Bradley has more value. Bradley, Brown. So you're looking at a lineup of roughly Isaiah, Marcus, Crowder, Davis, Horford. Is that big 3 of Thomas, Davis, and Horford good enough to compete with the Cavs? Oh, plus let's add Hayward into this mix too.
If Hayward's on it, I think that competes. That original 3.
It's tough because you have 2 bigs as your stars. You really need 2 guards or a guard, a wing, and a big.
Well, you just have to imagine eventually LeBron will slow down, right? But the problem is, as LeBron slows down, Kyrie ascends.
Yep. That's true.
Kyrie's about to reach like another level of point guards, just chicanery.
And because notice one thing is when you're talking about the East, and this is in everything. This is what I've heard in podcasts. This is what I've heard in whatchamacallit, just online. In the West, it's who can beat the Warriors. In the East, it's not who can beat the Cavs. It's who can beat LeBron.
Right.
It's LeBron's team, but we have Kyrie's kind of a sideshow right now. We have no idea what's coming, and I can't wait.
It's very quickly becoming Kyrie's team, though.
It is.
Especially as the Cavs have more concerns that LeBron may leave.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm interested to see how this team starts to react this season with all these rumors, see what moves they make, what they try to do. But, yeah, I think in 2 seasons it might be Kyrie's Cavs and LeBron's just along for the ride. Who knows? So, anyway, Davis, so trade package would probably agree. Bradley or Crowder, Brown. I'm going to say between 2 and 4 first-rounders.
Yeah, it's gonna be a haul.
Yeah, and
I mean, you have to. Ant Davis is a top 10 player in the NBA.
Yeah, I'll spend it.
He deserves a great package.
Well, here's the thing: is he's a top player in the NBA. He's not even at his prime yet.
No.
He's going to enter his prime within the next 2 seasons. And he's already
eventually
been
reach a
ridiculous.
point where Danny's got to do something with these things.
Because Tony Maz, for as much as I disagree with him on like all his Celtics picks, made a great point like 2 seasons ago. Every day these draft picks get a little less valuable because what the hell? How many like draft and stashes can we have? How many Ante Zizic's, Gershon Yabuseles,
Right.
Marcus Thornton's can be just chilling over in Europe for like 10 years?
You can't.
Yeah. It's not plausible. Granted, Zizic and Yabusele are now, I think, back in Boston. They'll be playing with the team. Bad examples, but still the point holds.
But the picks themselves, the thought of the picks have more value than the players.
Yeah. It's all about that
Easily.
potential.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at a number 16 pick. That sounds like, oh, we might be able to get a serviceable bench player for the future. Or a
And then it's
serviceable.
Gershon Yabusele.
It's Gershon Yabusele. I was going to say it's James Young, who is
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna comment on him.
Star James Young.
Yeah, the man who dunked in the national championship and went from a mid-second rounder to a lottery pick, basically. Just saying. But I shouldn't be saying mean things because when you draft him, like James Young, great pick. He can shoot. He's athletic. Yeah, I was wrong. I'll admit that one. And finally, this one. This would probably be the cheapest of the options in my opinion because he's a rent-a-player. Would you take the gamble on Paul George?
No. I don't think the Celtics right now are in a position to contend with the Cavs, and I don't think Paul George pushes them over the edge that enough.
No. I think I would have preferred it if they tried to go after him in February and like just to make a run in the playoffs and then have him for another, like have him for 2 playoffs but 1 full season. That's the way I was thinking.
That's fair, but I'm not sure the Celtics are willing to unload the farm on a rent.
Yeah,
you unload it for a guy like Davis.
Yeah, for Davis, because Davis still has like 4 years left on his deal, so he
has awesome control.
Yeah, and Davis, I think players for like a lot of players think Boston's going to suck. Every player I've seen come here, at least for the Celtics recently, absolutely love it. At least of all the star players.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a hard city to get people to come to, but once they're here, the team's good. Brad Stevens is a top 5 coach in the NBA. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Isaiah came here, loved it, became an ambassador to the city. And just, I mean, I even asked him when I met him, I was like, Isaiah, like, you've been here for like a year and a half now. What do you think of Boston? He's like, oh man, it's one of the greatest cities I've ever been to, which for me as a Bostonian made my day. And also as a fan of Celtics, like I am having a conversation with him. That's about how much I love this city. This is fun.
Yeah, that makes him a great team ambassador.
Yeah, it does because it's authentic. Yeah, I mean, he did a good job recruiting last summer. I mean, yes, you could say, oh, what about the results? We didn't get Durant. We threw Tom Brady at Durant and we couldn't get him. We threw the GOAT, like the greatest athlete of all time, arguably the greatest athlete of all time. No Boston homerism coming out there or anything.
I mean, Durant knew it was going to be back to Oklahoma City, or he was going to get an offer from Golden State, and Golden State signed him, and he played for them.
Yeah, and he won a championship, and I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, he's ascending to just another level of, like, he may go down as the second best small forward behind LeBron, and that's a conversation we're probably ready to have now.
I think we are, and I'll be interested to see in like 5 years. I feel like LeBron's body type is designed for longevity, so I don't think Durant will last as long in the NBA, but like in 5 years.
Durant's peak, though, is going to be scary.
He hasn't peaked yet. That's the freaky thing.
Durant could have a 35-point season.
Yeah. They're 35 points. 35
he
for
might
35.
already, actually.
Yeah, double check that. I'm going to switch gears quickly away from the trade talk and stuff like that, and we'll finish this up and go into stoppage time because I think we're running pretty long on the old pod.
Yeah, we're well over an hour now.
There it is. I like it. So anyway, in 24 hours. Oh, that's exciting. Tomorrow's going to be a long day at work. I'm just going to be sitting there shaking, ready to go home and watch the draft.
Grant's season high is 32, by the way.
Okay, that's pretty damn close still. So, what's going to happen for the Celtics? What do you predict is going to happen for them? Is it
Jason Tatum 3?
Jason Tatum 3? Okay, that's fair. I'm going to agree with that, but I will add this stipulation to it. There is going to be rumors. There will be some Woj bombs dropped about how close the Celtics are to trading and getting Jimmy Butler or Paul George.
I'm so annoyed that Woj is working for ESPN now.
Oh, he's not Yahoo anymore?
Huh?
He's not on Yahoo anymore. He's ESPN.
No, he moved to ESPN. They signed him, I think, just pretty much to do the draft because I think they were sick of him Woj bombing during the draft.
That's fair. Also that's another thing. So, what's your opinion on the Woj bomb? Because he's always on notifications for me during draft day, just for like trades and stuff.
Yep.
But do you like it, like having Woj bombs on? So it's like, oh, the 8th pick is Buddy Hield.
I find I'm not so attached to the draft that I
Yep.
need to be watching at all times. So if it happens to be on my Twitter feed, I'm fine with that.
Okay, that's fair. I had this argument with my brother, and yeah, he was just saying like, no, he hates the Woj bombs. He likes watching. He likes the suspense, which I can respect. I like both in the same regard. But yeah, so tomorrow night NBA draft. So excited! The future of the NBA about to start, and hopefully we'll start something fun for the Celtics. But so anyway, Matt, we're beginning to run. Our 90 minutes is up, and now it is time for stoppage time.
Yeah,
And
we'll do maybe a 4 to 5 minute stoppage time.
Yeah, 45 minutes stoppage time. That works for me. Yep. Must have been a couple of cards, a couple of goals, some stoppage of play, and now here we go. We have 5 extra minutes.
Yeah, so I will hand the mic to you for a good minute and a half. Dan's team has been successful. I will let you gloat and just get it out of your system.
What up? This is 2014. We also won 2016. Yeah, Real Madrid coming off one of the best seasons in their club's history, winning La Liga, of course, winning the Champions League for the second season in a row. The first team to win 2 in a row in the modern Champions League era, which was very big for them. I mean, we saw the Cristiano Ronaldo win the Ballon d'Or. He won the Euro 2016 for himself too, UEFA Player of the Year. He did everything. The rise of Marco Asensio, the future of Real Madrid, in my opinion. We saw guys like Alvaro Morata come back, do a great job. Marcelo, my favorite player, just having a hell of a season, creating more chances. Second most chance, I believe, behind Dani Alves. We'll get to him in a second. Of any back, I guess, a wing back you can call it. Great season for Madrid. However, bit of turmoil recently as Cristiano Ronaldo has been accused of tax fraud, owing 14.7 million euros to the Spanish government in a continued witch hunt against pretty much every major soccer figure who's come through Spain, including Leo Messi, Neymar, now Jose Mourinho, and Angel Di Maria coming out today.
And Luka Modric is under investigation for perjury. So
I was listening to the Guardian's podcast about that, and they were saying the guy who he was testifying for is like super powerful and corrupt, and like a lot of people think that he like forced Modric to lie or kill him or something like that. But Modric could face 4 to 5 years in prison for perjury. Modric, of course, being what many people believe to be the best center midfielder in the world. I don't agree with that, but he's definitely top 5.
One of the better passers, at least. I mean, he's an absolute magician.
Yeah. Oh, he's absolutely unbelievable to watch. So also Cristiano leading him with his tax evasion. Jail time, that's not a big deal. He pays a fine, and I think it's like under 2 years. If you pay a fine, you don't have to worry about it.
And Lord knows he has enough money to pay that off.
Oh yeah,
even with the tax fraud.
Yeah, he made $50 million this season. He's good to go. But that also led to a lot of rumors of him wanting to leave Spain altogether and return to Manchester United. Alvaro Morata, the Real Madrid striker, heavily tied to United. The deal was supposed to be done like a month ago, and I don't know what's happened with that.
Well, I think the fact that your premier striker was ready to leave, that may have impacted the Morata deal, and I don't think you want to give 2 of your premier offensive players to United.
Exactly, and United made a hell of an offer. David De Gea, arguably, in my opinion, the second best goalkeeper in the league, behind Manuel Neuer, or in the world, behind Manuel Neuer from Bayern Munich. David De Gea, and 183 million euros.
Wow,
which is just unbelievable. You can go and you get your goalkeeper, and then you go out and buy 3 super. You can buy 2 Galacticos, as they call them in Madrid, where you just pay like 100 million plus. One of those being Kylian Mbappe, probably from AS Monaco. But apparently today, Florentino Perez, Real Madrid president, went up to Ronaldo, they talked. Ronaldo's like, you know what? I don't want to leave, which I'm happy about, because we get to continue the El Clasico era between Messi and Ronaldo, and there will never be a better rivalry in the future of sports. So that is my Real Madrid rant. Very, very nervous for Luka Modric. Very nervous that this Cristiano business will keep going, but we have enough money to keep buying players, and yeah, we're good to go. But speaking of buying players and a certain wingback I mentioned earlier, Juventus left wingback Dani Alves on his way to strengthen the defense of Manchester City.
Lord knows we need it.
Yes, and that's Matt's team, so I'll pass the mic over to you.
Yeah, I mean, so basically what's happened is we're losing all of our defense for the most part. Bakary Sagna is leaving. I think Gael Clichy is also leaving, which leaves us very devoid of talent at the back positions. And City's problem last year was the defense, the back four, and the keeper. So I think the short list on the backs includes the aforementioned Dani Alves, as well as Kyle Walker from Tottenham. They're ready to make a €50 million bid on him in the upcoming weeks. And then I think they're gonna fill in the back with some lesser talent, just waiting in the wings kinds of things. I am confused though that Kyle Walker and Dani Alves are playing the same position, so I don't know how that's quite going to work out. But I suppose we'll figure it out. City also made a €75 million offer that was accepted for new goalkeeper Ederson from Benfica.
Yep.
So he will be the new keeper in net as Willy Caballero's leaving, and Lord knows Claudio Bravo will not be seeing prime minutes for the side.
No, that was a waste of money. That was a Pablo Sandoval waste of money. So yeah, Man City though. I mean, they're looking good, making it. They're back in the Champions League next year, looking to make a run. Also back
City
in the Champions League,
third on the table last year.
Yep, one above also the Liverpool Reds.
Mm-hmm.
My original team before I studied abroad and fell in love with Real Madrid, signing Mohamed Salah. I think they'll officially sign him tomorrow, but adding some wing depth. And yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of other interesting transfer rumors going out. Oh, Marco Verratti to FC Barcelona was the other big one right now. Verratti wants out of PSG, and he wants to play with Leo Messi.
Yeah, and I've heard Matuidi linked to a bunch of those Italian teams as well, both of the Milan squads. It's curious to me that PSG just seems to be on this firestorm of I don't think anybody's actually going to leave, but the transfers are certainly interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Even Edison Cavani was talking about going back. I forget which team he originally played for, but Cavani was talking about leaving. Maria seems to always somehow be on a transfer rumor. But yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know what's going on at PSG right now, but I mean, that'll be a shame to lose Blaise Matuidi, one of the best defensive midfielders, in the world. Marco Verratti, one of the best young center mids in the world, and Edison Cavani, one of the top strikers in all of Europe.
Yes.
And it's interesting
Cavani
to see
was with Napoli before PSG.
Napoli, that's where he's going to get. Yep, that's where I saw him linked to. Napoli, of course, losing Gonzalo Higuain last season, so that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. Elvis, yeah, that looks like that's just about it. And I think, yeah, that's the ref blows the whistle, and that's it for stoppage time.
It is.
Not bad. So yeah, that'll do it then for the inaugural Common Room Collab podcast. We want to thank you all for listening. Again, follow our blog though on the commonroomcollab.blogspot.com. Matt and I will be posting. I'll be posting right after this. Actually, I need something.
I'll drop the link in the show notes.
Perfect, excellent. Yeah, so please check that out. Overall, it's very good. We're both very good writers. I've never read your sports writing, but I know you're a good writer. So yeah,
after it's gonna be geeky. Just forewarning in advance.
Perfect. Mine will be so homery, it'll be ridiculous. So again, that's the commonroomcollab.blogspot.com. Follow us on Twitter at Common Room Pod. We will tweet out. I'm literally the king of reaction GIFs, so I'll be tweeting out a whole bunch of funny GIFs. Maybe live tweeting the draft today, whenever we actually post this, today or tomorrow. But Thursday, the 22nd of June, I will be posting, literally live tweeting everything. Lots of Danny Ainge reaction GIFs. It'll be a good time. But yeah, again, remember to hit that subscribe button on iTunes and YouTube. And yeah, Matt, anything else to say to the people?
I don't know, just an appreciation. And if you want to follow us personally on Twitter, you can find those handles on the Common Room Collab Twitter page as well.
Yes, exactly. We both also, we got good own personal Twitters. It's a fun follow.
We're witty. We need an avenue for the puns.
Exactly. We do need. There were 0 puns made tonight. That is going to change next time. We'll have to have the pun counter from now on or something like that.
Ugh. I'm bracing myself.
Exactly. I'm glad we're on Google Hangouts, so like people might be able to see your reactions who are actually watching when I make some horrible pun.
It's sheer disappointment,
Just
shame.
takes handle of vodka, faces it.
Ugh.
Simple as that. All right, perfect. Well, anyway, again, thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter at Common Room Pod and follow us on Blogspot at thecommonroomcollab.blogspot.com. I'm Dan Anderson alongside
Matt Orsi, thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you again next Wednesday night when we post our next Common Room collab. But until then, have a great week, and we'll see you then.